I'm going to talk about negative exponents and a couple of properties that go with that. So the first one we're going to look at is the situation where we have a raised to the m power divided by a raised to the n power. As long as the bases are the same. Now the base is a in this case. We're told to do this as far as the properties are concerned. That would be a to the m minus n power. At that point, we would just, of course, subtract the exponents, and I'll give a specific example in a minute. The next property we're going to look at is a to the negative n power, and that turns into 1 over a to the positive n power. And we'll see how that's applied as well a little bit later. So let me give you a specific example dealing with the first property here. So let's say we have 2 to the 4th power, 2 to the 4th power, divided by 2 to the, let's say, 7th power. So what that tells us is we can do this. Remember, 2 to the 4th power means you're multiplying 2 4 times. So that would be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 divided by, and then on the bottom we have to have 7 2's. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, there's 4 of them, times 2 times 2 times 2. That's 7 2's. So basically at this point we can start canceling out. So cancel out some 2's here. 1 for the top, 1 for the bottom. And remember, there's an understood 1 on the top here. So basically it'd be times 1. And that would equal 1 over, that would equal 1 divided by, or 1 over 2 to the 3rd power. Which of course in turn would just become 1 over 8. Alright, let's look at another situation. Okay, let's say we have 2 to the negative 3rd power, 2 to the negative 3rd power, and let's say that's being divided by 3. So in this case, we're going to end up with a complex fraction. The 2 to the negative 3rd power is going to become 1 divided by, that's going to become 1 divided by 2 to the positive 3rd power. But remember, we're still dividing by 3. Now we can think of 3 as 3 over 1. Maybe I'll change the color on that 3 there, because it was blue. So it's going to be the same as 3 over 1. Okay. Now, that can be expanded to 1 over 2 to the 3rd. Maybe I'll leave that, make that red again like it was. Just erase that whole thing there. That's 2 to the 3rd power. Okay, and that can be multiplied by, now when you divide a complex fraction, the denominator, you take the reciprocal of the denominator, so that's going to turn into 1 over 3 times 1 over 3. And of course, that's going to turn into 1 over 8, because 2 to the 3rd power is 8, multiplied by 1 over 3, and finally we have 1 over 24. Okay, so very quickly we'll just verify that on the calculator just to see what we get on there. Let me clear that. So we have, I'll just put the original problem in, which was 2 to the negative 3rd power, 2 raised to the negative third. And then we have divided by 3. At this point, press enter. And of course we get 1 over 24, just like we got over here. All right, one more example to see how we might have to deal with some negative exponents. Okay, this next one, we're going to use parentheses, and we'll see if parentheses make a difference. So parentheses, 2 divided by 3, 2 divided by 3, and that's going to be raised to the negative third power. So in this case, we take the base. Now the base is 2/3. It's in parentheses, that's the base. At this point, the easiest way to do this is to take the reciprocal of the base, and that in turn is going to be 3 over 2. 3 over 2. But in so doing, we can change the negative exponent here, change the negative exponent into a positive exponent. And at that point, we have 3 to the third power, 3 to the third power, and because it's in parentheses, it's divided by 2 to the third power, because we applied the exponent of 3 to the numerator and denominator. And then we can just go ahead and finish that problem off. So that's going to give me 27 on the numerator and 8 in the denominator. So we'll just look at that on the calculator real quick. Bring this over a little bit. Okay, so we can clear that one. And this time we have parentheses, 2 divided by 3. Close the parentheses, make sure I scroll over, close it. And it's being raised to the negative third power. And we'll press enter, and we get 27 over 8. So I hope that's a little bit helpful with negative exponents.